Final D. So, let's see. Platforms, there's no platforms there, so a good amount of the aerial game will come through, and I know at least 3 of the 4, again, Duck Hunt, just because I haven't seen a whole lot of them. The aerial gameplay from the other 3 characters are pretty strong. And starting off, Bill Nye's taking a good amount of brunt of the damage, but again, he plays a very fearless Jigglypuff. He likes to go in and just go in with disrupting with the pound, and just disrupting the entire flow of the opposite team. Or the player if you go up against someone 1v1. And it seems to be paying off a little bit. Corn's just climbing back up on percentages as well and has the lead so far. And here's where the aerial game comes into play. Once red team is launched up into the air, the blue team can just throw out those disjoints and just the mastery of aerial game that they have to keep the red team from gaining any sort of traction on the ground. And, ooh, Bill Nye's in a little bit of a sticky situation. Lucina trying to edge guard, but he gets back with pressure with a forward air. And, okay, yeah, the recovery should be able to save them, but so long as they go out to the side. If they're gonna try to fight in the air, it's going to be a little bit of trouble. And neutral air almost takes out Bill Nye coming in from Nova, but Raiga is able to capitalize. And again, it's a lot. Ooh. Across the stage, Raiga is able to take out Bill Nye. And what I was going to say before is that so long as they keep the stage pressure, again, it should prove pretty problematic for the red team. And that is exactly what they're doing. They're keeping them on their toes, throwing out the neutral game, respecting. And if Bill Nye doesn't respect it, but he does finally get an up tilt off the get up from, I believe that was that Corn, so Nova. Oh, an accidental hit. He was just trying to get it to launch the other way, but he miscounted the number of times where that could be hit, and it explodes. And a back air from Jake Dragon will be able to take out Raiga on his first stock. Advantage red team, but only slightly, especially with the edge guard. Almost had it with the Lance Pierce by Nova, but Jake Dragon gets back to the opposite stage. But Raiga comes back in. And here comes the edge guarding that Bill Nye is well known for. He's trying to force somebody out, trying to get a little bit more of an advantage, especially because Jake Dragon was just sent out. And, I mean, in terms of percentages overall, it's fairly even so far, but in terms of what I've seen so far, the blue team has taken pretty much dominated control of just the stage in general. They're keeping the red team out either above or off to the side, but an accidental tilt kill, but he does get back with one on the red team as well. And it's a little bit advantage blue, or advantage red, sorry, in terms of percentages. Great wait out for that. Oh, tried to go for the rest, but it leaves him vulnerable. But the discus actually from the forward smash actually able to get him out of his sleep, his slumber there, I'll say. And now red team is trying a little bit more of what the blue team was doing, trying to keep the red team pressured in the air. But there you go. Great setup from the blue team there. And a share stock option is out. That will leave Jake Dragon on his last stock. But last stocks are actually all around here, so it actually proves beneficial. And he's trying to go in with that canister. Misses Nova misses a grab there. But he's got to get over to help out his teammate. He is just completely walled out by the other 2 blue team in their neutral game right now. And Bill Nye, he really likes to get in, but that might prove the detriment here. He is just getting caught up in all of the neutral game that Nova and Raiga are throwing out. Tries to fish an attack on Raiga, but he gets caught. And, okay, I see what Jake Dragon's trying to do. Just throw in the canister to try to blow it up, but it's very tricky to control that. You have to have such control with that canister to see where it'll come in. Actually does, and gets him back safe recovery. But again, Bill Nye is on the opposite side, right in between the blue team. Does get a shield break. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to go for a rest. And Raiga actually gets back from that dash attack. And that will leave Bill Nye by himself, sitting at 75% with both of the blue team pretty ample rage. Corrin's pretty much topped off, and Lucina's just about halfway as well. But he does get the Gimp. Okay, yeah, I forgot about Corrin's recovery. It goes a little bit more diagonal than you would expect. Raiga fights out Bill Nye off to the side, and he can sit out there all he wants, but the added pressure of the 2v1 situation, plus that combo, great recognition from, I believe that was Raiga, finishing with that up air off the back throw from Corrin. And that'll be 1 for the advantage of blue team so far. Now, in terms of what red team can do, they really, J-Dragon really needs to go out and help his teammate. He was sitting there and throwing in canisters, which was creating some amount of pressure, but the pressure of having the character there instead of just the canister that blows up, it would be much more ample to help out Bill Nye. And Bill Nye, what we said before, he's a very Jigglypuff. He's a player of Jigglypuff that likes to go in and pressure a lot. And, you know, more power to him because the pound can wreck shields a lot faster than you'd expect. But without the added backup of his teammate, he was just sitting there in between just 2 disjoints. And he was getting beat out a lot of the time. So we'll see if Jake Dragon picks up on that or not. As we see the stage pick here, I'm not sure what stage pick would actually benefit because they did just get beat on a platform-less stage. And I'm not really sure because, like, sometimes the neutral can benefit, but because they have disjoints, they should be able to fish out on platform as well. Like hitting underneath the platform with like an up tilt or even forward tilt, I believe, with Lucina sometimes. You know, forward smash will be able to connect with Lucina, and just yeah, just the fact that disjoints can go through platforms from the bottom and just make recovering on a platform or even on stage so much of a hassle. I'm not sure. Okay, so they're going to go for the second most open duck hunt stage. I can't say duck hunt for the actual stage anymore because we have a duck hunt on the actual stage. But here we see, yes, Jake Dragon, at least for the start right now, is trying to get a little bit more pressure in. And it is benefiting quite a bit, but an early start take. Great recognition from Raiga, recognizing that Bill Nye was up there with him and at high percents. And he's going to eat that entire shield break there from Lucina, and it is not starting off so well for the red team, even though Jake Dragon did adapt a little bit to the beginning. Those early stock takes definitely set the mood instead of just how you adapt for the second round. Oh, but a 1 almost gets to 2, but he accidentally hits with a canister. Again, he should have gone out there and just handled it himself. I mean, it definitely made it a lot more possible, but oh, a beautiful lance poke from Nova. And again, to set the tide with those 2 early stock takes in the first minute alone. Bill Nye is on his last stock, and if he borrows again, it's going to set up for a very harrowing situation for the red team. And again, Nova just keeping applied pressure to Jake Dragon, who's just throwing out those canisters. And Bill Nye is eating the brunt of the damage from Nova that time around, but they do have blue off to the side here. Good shield weight from Jake Dragon that time. Finally gets one with what I believe was a forward air. I wasn't watching fully. But again, he has to be... It just doesn't seem that he's so practiced enough. Unfortunate that Nova was a little too far down and the up B couldn't recover, so... But red team is sitting at high percentages while... Bill Nye could be taking out a good amount of his smashes and maybe even a tilt off to the side now. So yeah, those 2 stocks on the red team can be taken at any point, especially with Bill Nye being pressured by Nova again. He's just trying to find some way back onto the stage. Finally is able to elevate all of them, but Raiga coming through, and finally the forward air will be able to take it out, and there's the share stock down to it again, and Jake Dragon really needs to hold on to his stock here to have some sort of advantage on the blue team, but it is not going to happen. He's sitting at 143, and especially with that up throw, sent him up in the air, but Raiga was a little bit too distracted. Well, he wasn't distracted. He was helping out his teammate a little bit. Good neutral, and he finally gets a rest, but oh, misread. He was going for an up smash. That wouldn't have connected anyway. And a share stock comes through. Oh, my gosh. How things can turn in these doubles matches. Now Jake Dragon is a little bit, he's doing the appropriate thing now, especially with that damage. But it's still, that was the cause of the problem for the first round. And an up throw, I believe, will finally take out Jake Dragon. Though everybody will be on less stock a bit about more of an even spread, but oh, there it is. Accidental rest on the side. Jigglypuff will be able to live through that, but again, he's just waiting. He's on a 2v1 situation. Jake Dragon on the other side of the stage, and Nova is also keeping his eye on Bill Nye as well. Bill Nye does get a grab on Nova, but he was too distracted by Raiga to get anything off of an edge guard. And here comes the aerial gameplay. Well, there was the aerial gameplay for a second, and another forward air does take out Bill Nye, and Jake Dragon is in for the fight of his life right now. Has to take out 2 disjoints, and he is pressured to move in this time around. And another forward air. Such precision with that forward air. And a down air spike will be able to clinch it for blue team. And Raiga and Nova will move on to winner's quarters. And Bill Nye and Jake Dragon, the 7th, will be sent down to loser's bracket. They definitely brought it a little bit back there for the second round, but so many shifts in the tide battle there. That was crazy, and it's just that blue had such more of commanding pressure on Bill Nye while Jake Dragon was sitting back there, and that